Let's get into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expected, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. It makes me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. Ooh, why am I like this? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday, everybody. I got to change my background. I got to get me a spring March background going on. Hopefully, oh, here's one. Hopefully we're making our way into spring, honey. I'm going to be just wishful thinking. Hey, everybody, come on in. You guys, listen, we're going to do a little bit of hot topics tonight. And then we're going to start reading Who's Watching Shorty. I know I've been promising y'all that for over a week, but baby, life has been lifing, but we're going to start it tonight. So I'm going to read. My intention is to read the forward and read chapter 1. What did I say today was Wednesday? Oh my goodness, today is Thursday. Oh, Jesus. And yes, thank you, Don. Today is the last day to vote for the Starlight Awards. I thank you guys so much because this voting season has been long, but I appreciate every vote. I've been voting, y'all been voting. People say they've been voting, and the things are the things. I have booked my hotel room. I got to get my ticket and I have to get my flight. And I'll probably take care of that in the next week, when I get paid next week, But hotel is booked, honey. So don't make me the Erica Kane of the Starlight Awards. Don't make me the Erica Kane of the Starlight Awards, where I've been nominated for these awards and I don't win nothing. Don't have me coming home. Don't have me sitting in the audience smiling like this. Girl. But no, real talk. Y'all know I'm just tickled that I was nominated, but I mean, it would be nice to walk away with something, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all come on in. Hey, what's up, T? Where you been? Life been working you? So let me say hi to the people. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Thursday, because Lord knows I know today. I mean, why? Child, I got my days all mixed up. I don't know why, but today is Thursday. Hallelujah. So let me say hi to the people. What's up, Amber? Lovely Nola. What's up, Joanna? Janae. Hey, boo. Quake. Gossip in the Garden. Lady Leatherneck. Hey, Yana. How you doing, boo? You just left the schoolhouse? Girl, I know them days. What's up, little Miss Introvert? KDK, Miss Cookie, Brandon. What's going on? Hey, Benji. What's up? Hey, Papo. Kitty Dog, hey girl. Cheryl, what's going on? What's up, boo? China White, Don, Tracy, T All Me, Miss Rail, what's up, Jay? What's going on, y'all? So come on in. So we only have a few hot topics. That's part of the reason why I was like, well, this would be a perfect day for me to start the book. Because it's not a lot going on that I'm going to talk about, but we're going to get into a few hot topics and then we're going to jump into the book. Now, when we start getting into the book, I am going to change this chat into a members only chat, but we are on my book club channel as well as this channel. So when we start reading the book, just go over to the book club channel and you can still chat freely and say all the things you want to say. But going over to the book club channel, I don't even think I put it on. You have to be a member for 5 minutes over there. I think I just got it open. Maybe I need to put subscriber for a minute. Maybe I do need to change that to subscriber for a minute, because I don't think I have it. Oh shoot. I'd have to log into this. Never mind. Because I think I might have to do too much, child. I might have to do too much to do all of that. Yeah. Yeah, I had to do too much to do all of that. So it's open. So you don't even have to subscribe. Although I want you to subscribe. I just forgot to switch it to subscriber mode. So I want you to subscribe. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be reading the book. So that's why I said we're going to be switching it over to a members only chat once we get to that part. Okay. All right. Child, YouTube playing games. Why they already done made this a yellow video? I ain't even said nothing yet, YouTube. Why is this video yellow? Is it because I'm talking about the book? Oh, YouTube be on some bull hockey. Y'all, they already made this video yellow. That's some bullshit. Hold on, y'all. YouTube. So let me request a review. Go on and review it. I ain't even said nothing yet. Why is the video yellow? I think because they know the content of this book, I think is what it is. They know the content of the book. I don't have nothing in the title. It's just say book club. Who's watching Shorty? But I think it's they know what's in the book, and I think that's what it is. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Next time I won't put the title of the book. I'll just put the thumbnail. I don't know if the thumbnail got. I don't know if the thumbnail got flagged too. I don't know. Let me just change it to book club, child. Let me just change it to book club. I probably have to change the thumbnail too, though. But let me just change it. Let me edit the title. Child. I'm going to just take out the name of the book. I'm just going to say book club, honey. Dang. But yeah, I think because they know what the book is about. Anyway, I put in for a review. There's nothing I can do about it now, child. We already live. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. All right. But thank you, Yana. Thank you. Yeah. So I just took that out the title. All right. Well, first of all, y'all know that Christy Nome. Yes, Christy Nome is gone. Listen, all I got to say is this. In a cabinet full of people who are breaking the law, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, and a cabinet full of people who are horrible at their job, and a cabinet full of people who are not qualified to be doing the position and doing the job that they're doing. I mean, Christy Nome, how bad of a job did you have to be doing that you got fired before RFK? Let's let that sink in. Girl, you got fired before RFK Jr. Oh, I don't expect the replacement to be. I mean, let's be clear. She was doing what she was told to do. She was just bad at defending it. Let's be clear. She was not doing anything that she didn't have permission to do. She was just bad at how she defended it. And at the end of the day, let's be clear, because they brought up the whole thing about her sleeping with Corey Lewandowski and all of that. Baby, that's because she's a woman. Christy, at the end of the day, they might pretend like you at the end of the day, you still a woman and they still don't respect you on the same level. Because let's be clear, a man having an affair is not an issue. But because you were having an affair now that's an issue. But anyway. Well, isn't it about the time he started? You know what, Little Miss Introvert? He's been doing a good job, and I remember his last term, baby. He was on his 4th or 5th press secretary by now. So yeah, I mean, it ain't like he won't fire people. We know he's good at firing people. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, I don't read too much into it because, like you said, the replacement ain't much better. It's not like she was going rogue and doing stuff she wasn't supposed to be doing. And it is what it is. But we're going to move on from that, child. Let me say this too. Let me remind everybody, and when I say everybody, I'm not talking to the tribe because the tribe ain't the problem, right? But for the people who might be listening to the replay, because the people who listen to the replay, y'all, so let me say this. We can disagree respectfully. You don't have to like my opinion. You don't have to agree with my opinion, but we're going to stay respectful. When I did a short yesterday about Tasha K and T.S. Madison, and I was saying, is T.S. Madison hinting that she may be looking into filing charges against Tasha K? I understand that whenever I bring up Tasha K, people are going to have something to say. The comments be blowing up. People have opinions. I understand when I talk about T.S. Madison, people are going to have an opinion. I get it. Either you love her or you hate her. Either you love Tasha K or you hate her. I get it. Same thing with Funky Dineva. I get it. And I have no problem with y'all disagreeing with my opinion or how I chose to talk about a story. No problem. But what we're not going to do, we are not going to tolerate the disrespect towards me or towards, to a certain degree, the people we're talking about. Like, we can laugh and joke about people, but the very first comment under that video said, Tim, no, he need to stop. That we're not doing over here. Now, maybe you can do that in other people's comments, but we're not doing that over here. T.S. Madison's name is T.S. Madison. Her pronouns are her. Period. Now, you could say that it's bullshit. You could say you don't like T.S. You could even, fine. But that's what we're not going to do. Oh, happy birthday, Montrez. Everybody wish, y'all know that's my boo. Everybody wish Montrez a happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's right, because you and Busy have the same birthday. Happy birthday. So I deleted that comment. I didn't block that person, but the next time I will. Again, I don't understand why y'all, when I say y'all, I ain't talking about y'all. I don't understand what's so hard about respecting somebody's name and respecting somebody's pronoun. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't affect you. How is calling T.S. Madison other than the name she was born with? How is that hurting you? And I know that some people don't see it as a big deal. What's the big deal? I don't care. That's what her mama named her, blah, 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 blah. What's the big deal? But over here, it's a big deal for me. So I'm just letting y'all know. You can not like T.S. Madison and you can disagree with T.S. Madison. You can have your opinion, but that I'm not doing. We're not misgendering people and we're not calling people out their name. Ice Cube got y'all calling that man Ice Cube. That is not, his name is O'Shea Jackson. That's what his mama named him, O'Shea. But y'all call him, y'all ain't got no problem calling that man Ice Cube. Lil Uzi Vert. Y'all ain't got no problem calling that man Uzi Vert. You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't have no problem calling people a name that they want you to call them. So I don't understand what the big deal is about calling TS. Your house, your rules, TS misgenders also, but I definitely understand you. I feel you on that. And I know that T.S. Madison, when she's in battle, she goes to hell. I got it. But that her battle with other people ain't my battle. But I thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. But let someone call them out their name. Right. You know? So again, you can call her Maddie. Like, or you can say, I don't F with her. I'm cool with that. You don't have to like T.S. Madison. You don't have to agree. But that was the very first comment under that video, y'all. And I was like, damn. But anyway, I just want to remind y'all that those types of comments will be deleted. You coming at me crazy is going to be deleted. And you making those types of comments are going to be deleted. Again, don't have to agree. Don't have to like people. But I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's what it is. And again, I'm not saying I agree with everything that T.S. Madison says and does. Hell, she grown. I can't make her do one way or the other, but you know. We're taking a round of shots for Montrez's birthday. All right, send it around. All right, but moving on. We're not gonna stay there. I just wanted to say that I was talking to somebody today about that, and I was like, that is just crazy. But let's go ahead and get into this. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot to talk about, so let me just go through some of these highlights that I picked up over the last couple of days. Stephon Diggs has been fired. He went all the way to the Super Bowl, but they cut him from the New England Patriots. I'm sure it was for a variety of reasons. But yeah, so he'll be looking for a job. Do I think somebody will pick him up? Yeah. He'll be all right, He'll be all right. Queen Latifah, who is still alive, by the way. I don't know where that viral, I guess it was a viral rumor that Queen Latifah had passed away. She's alive. She did a video showing that she's alive and well. But Queen Latifah and Taraji P. Henson inked deals with Lifetime to executive produce several original movies. Y'all, I have been enjoying these original movies on Lifetime from these Black people. Mary J. Blige, I enjoyed. She did, well, now she's done 4. She's done 3. They fired him before Jazzy's husband, Darius. Mary J. Blige has done 4. And the last one with Tisha Campbell, I liked it. I watched it a few weeks ago. I thought it was a really, really cute movie. It was about them. It was about when you get in that marriage and that marriage hits a slump and you got empty nest. The kids are off in college and y'all are trying to figure it out. I thought it was really, really cute. I thought it was a cute movie. And I love me some Tisha Campbell. And I feel like she was doing a little method acting in there because there was some parts about her learning how to love herself again and stuff like that. And I think that might be some real life in there. Me too, Kim. I watch my Christmas movies, honey. Tony Braxton had a couple of movies. They in my DVR. I ain't watched them yet. Terry McMillan, who I'm not the biggest Terry McMillan fan, but her movies were cute. And of course, Garcelle, she's had a couple. I think they're the romance ones. I know she's done a couple of the thrillers, but they've been cute. So I'm here for it, and I'm definitely here to see what Queen Latifah is going to bring and what Taraji is going to bring. And what I love is that these movies have been successful, and so Lifetime is continuing to reach out to more Black women for these stories. And so I'm here for it. I'm here for it. More Republicans are retiring. We on number 39 now. And here's the thing. I don't give you any credit for retiring. I give you none. I would much rather you stay there and do your fucking job. Don't retire because you don't have the balls to stand up to Trump and stand up to MAGA. Stay there and fight, because right is right and wrong is wrong. We don't have to agree on political ideologies to agree certain things are just right and certain things are just wrong. So y'all are retiring, y'all are tucking your tail, and y'all are leaving town because you don't have the balls to stand up against what's wrong. So now you're just going to leave it up to the next person. I don't respect that at all. Moving right along. Damon Wayans Jr. and Insecure actress Christina Elmore are set to star in an NBC drama called Puzzled. Now, Damon Wayans Jr. and his father had a sitcom last year together, which I thought was kind of cute. I guess they never caught on in the ratings. I'm not sure. I thought it was cute. I mean, it wasn't must-see TV for me, but it was cute. It was something cute to watch. I mean, Damon Wayans was playing a DJ. He worked from home. I think he lived next door to his son or something like that. And Essence Atkins played the son. Now, I'm going to tell you what I didn't like. And I know if y'all are talking in the chat's not moving. So I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm not sure if it's, remember last week we were having that problem with the chat, or if y'all just aren't talking. I don't know. But just letting y'all know, I'm not ignoring y'all. The chat is not moving on my end. I don't know. This is going to sound very superficial when I say this. And I really don't want to come off as superficial, but it's going to sound very superficial. So I'm admitting it now. So don't tell me, really, B, that was so superficial. I'm telling you that is superficial. Y'all are talking. Don't play with Dana. Okay, it's coming through now. Okay, it's coming through now. Don't play with Dana. I like the show. We talking. Papa's House was a good family friendly show. Yeah, I thought it was cute too. So again, I'm not really sure why it was canceled other than CBS. Yeah, I know CBS trying to get rid of all the black people. But I will say this. Damon Wayans Jr. voice annoys me. The way he talks annoys me. And I know that that's superficial and a little fucked up. But he talks so proper and so like Valley Boy that, dad. Like when they were doing their press run and they were talking, and he was like, well, it's been really great working with my father, because I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Oh, that annoyed me. And I know that's superficial, y'all. I know, but it did. It annoyed me. So I enjoyed the show from certain aspects, but he annoyed me. But I did watch it. I supported it. It got my little rating, but it just moving right along. But congratulations. I'll be tuned in, seeing what the story is all about. Shout out to Kid Rock. Shout out to Kid Rock. His Rock the Country tour is turning into Rock the Bankruptcy. This is according to my boy Danny 01, who does the surprise and pulls his leg up. It says that artists are bailing, dates are canceling, and the bill is hitting 6 figures. And it couldn't happen to a better person. So shouts out to you, sir. Shouts out to you. Couldn't have happened to a better person. Now, the owner of Destination Smokehouse has come out to speak after Mr. Tenderism said that he was fired and said that, we found out that a black lawyer has indeed secured the trademark and has officially turned that trademark over to Mr. Tenderism. So he now has his name, Mr. Tenderism. He can use it. He can market it. He can make money off of it. He need to start making t-shirts immediately. People are going to buy a t-shirt faster than anything else. And then whatever he decides to do next, he can continue to build his brand. So shout out to that black lawyer who saw the game, peeped the game, and got in the front of the line and got that trademark. And shout out to him for not trying to make money off of it, but turning it over to Mr. Tenderism. Shout out to you. Okay. Now, back to the owner of Destination Smokehouse. He actually released the video. I'm not even going to play the damn video. I'm going to just tell you what the man said. He going to say that he did not fire Mr. Tenderism. He going to say that he knew about the trademark and that they were partners and that he wished him well in his future endeavors. And he alluded to Mr. Tenderism left voluntarily because he wanted to do his own thing. Sir, nobody believes that. Nobody believes that that man walked away from Destination Smokehouse, a company he thought he was a partner in. He didn't walk away from that. You fired him because you were getting too much blowback and too much flack, and you really thought that you were bigger than the program. You really thought that people would keep lining up if Unc wasn't there. That's what you thought. But now, what's up, princess? How you been, boo? But now ain't nobody lined up to eat your damn barbecue because they lined up to see Unc. They lined up to see Unc. They didn't line up. They never lined up to see you. Let's be clear. And now all of a sudden you didn't fire him, sir. Then why he leave? And why would he lie? That man has no reason to lie on you. That man could just as easily say, hey, I wanted to do my own thing. You know, we parted ways. Ain't no hard feelings. So why would that man lie? He has no reason to lie. Hello? He ain't got no reason to lie on you. What up, Halfpan? Hey, Terrence. What's going on? That Sapien is only trying to save face, as this will be his fourth failed business at that location. Damn, not the fourth. I knew it was at least the second. I didn't know it was the fourth. But what I will say is, nobody believes you, sir, and that's why your place has turned into a ghost town. That's why ain't nobody there no more. That's why where it used to be line outside wrapped around the corner, baby, you could walk right into the front of the line. You ain't got to wait for nobody and get whatever you want. Okay? You are feeling it. And shout out again, like I said, my only concern is that has people around him that's going to protect him, and he's going to do right by his money. Okay. Now, 50 Cent posted this on his page. I don't know if he's trolling or if he's serious, but he posted this on his page. 50 Cent reportedly developing Surviving T.I. and Tiny documentary. You know, 50 Cent is a troll. Who knows? Who cares? Who knows? Who cares? Like, 50, do your best. Like, again, 50 Cent, I used to love 50 Cent. I really did. I loved his music. I did. But over the years, I think it started with the Tierra Marie thing for me, and it's just gone downhill since then. I really feel better knowing that he really doesn't own power the way he pretends like he owns power. So I feel less guilt watching the show and supporting power because, you know, he's an ass. And that's all I got for him. Shout out to me, please, if you haven't. Oh, sorry. Vote last day. We got 5 hours left. Vote, 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 vote. You can vote until 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 midnight. So if you haven't voted, please vote. Child, we're going to put Britney. Well, Britney already been on the sick and shut-in list. Britney Spears arrested on a DUI in California. Listen, I have said this before, and I will continue to say it so that anybody has any misunderstanding, so there will be no misunderstanding. I ain't never said that Britney Spears didn't need some help. I ain't never said that. But what I said was what they were doing to her was wrong. That conservatorship and the way they had her under lock and key and the way that she didn't have any access to her own money and her father was videotaping her with her boyfriends and the girl couldn't even have a cell phone, that I felt was a problem. I ain't never said that girl didn't need no help. I believe she deals with mental health, and I do believe she needs to be medicated and it needs to be calibrated, and people need to keep an eye on her. I just never agreed with that conservatorship and all the things they were doing allegedly under that conservatorship. And I say allegedly, but we read the court documents, child. We went through the court documents over here. That video, I don't know, that's probably a couple of years ago. But I do believe she had a mental break. When she shaved her head off, I believe that's where it started. That doesn't mean that there weren't what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? That doesn't mean that there weren't signs before that, but I think that's where the mental break happened. I just believe that. I believe when she shaved her head that time, I believe that is when it happened. So do I think she needs help? Yes, I absolutely have always believed that. I just never believed that never is a strong word. Once things started coming out about that conservatorship, that's when I was like, well, I don't think that's the answer. You think the conservatorship made it worse? It may have. It may have. So we're just going to we're going to keep her on. Right, Tracy. What her dad did to her was wrong, but she needs help. Yeah. We're just going to put her on the sick and shut in there. Uh-huh. She needs to be medicated and calibrated. Yes, gossip in the garden. They need to be calibrated, honey. Brittany needs the Amanda Bynes level of help. Amanda Bynes is doing good. Child, she said she on Ozempic. She done lost some weight. She got her. I think she's a nail tech now. She's got her cosmetology license. She doing nails. Listen, Amanda may never tell her story, and that's not her. And listen, I don't need. Would I like to hear her story? Sure, but I think she don't need to tell her story to nobody but her therapist, because I do think she need to be talking to a therapist. But Amanda seems to be doing a lot better. Knock on wood. But again, I ain't never said that the girl didn't need no help. I have some potentially bad news for y'all. Now y'all tell me. You know what? I haven't done this in a long time. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Once I give y'all this information, I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. So y'all can tell me what y'all think. Hold on, where's the poll? Start a poll. Now, this is all circumstantial evidence. All circumstantial evidence. But I found I came across a TikTok earlier today. There's a particular new housewife of Atlanta. A particular new housewife of Atlanta. You know what? I thought she passed it. Maybe she didn't. I thought she was actually doing nails, but she's just in nail school. Okay. But either way, she's doing really well. Yeah. Maybe she's just still in there. Look, I can't do Billy Porter. Look. I can't do Billy Porter. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't have no commentary because I really try to stay away from Billy Porter because I can't do him. I want to love Billy Porter. I want to remember him as Pray Tell. That's it. All I want from Billy Porter is Pray Tell. I just love Pray Tell. I don't know how I feel about Billy Porter. Okay. Now there is some news coming out potentially about a new housewife of Atlanta. Allegedly, she received some business loans back in 2022 from known MAGA contributors, known MAGA people, allegedly. Well, the loans ain't allegedly, but, And then, allegedly, this is what her Instagram looks like. She follows Tiffany Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Donald Trump. She follows POTUS, the official POTUS handle. And I'm not gonna say that just because you follow all of these people, it makes you MAGA. I'm not even gonna say that you getting loans from MAGA people makes you MAGA, but it does make you go, how many of my Arsenio Hall people in the house? Remember Arsenio Hall back in the day when he used to do things that make you go, And he would say, I'm not saying that this plus this equals this, but it does make you go, Now, Pinky Cole, that's allegedly who she follows down to the social media. Allegedly. That's also allegedly Donald Trump's people that she received these business loans from in 2022. And again, getting a business loan from a MAGA person doesn't make you MAGA. She got government loans as well, but she also got loans from, hold on, let me see if I can find this whole TikTok. I'm going to play the whole TikTok. Hold on. Because I don't want to speak for her. Hold on, let me find it. Was this Instagram or TikTok? I'm about to find out. Because I don't want to put this on her if it ain't her. Hold on, that must be TikTok then. Hold on, let me go over to the TikTok. Now let me know. Lord, now I ain't gonna be able to find this account. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I think that's TikTok. I can't tell whether I saw this on TikTok. I think that's TikTok. Hold on. No, it must be Instagram. Hold on. Hold on. I can't find it, y'all. I can't find this TikTok account. Someone says she's the McDonald's of vegan burgers. Oh, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, why even do it if you don't want to be associated? Well, that's true. All right, y'all, hold on. I'm gonna try one more thing to see if I can find because I don't want to I want to be fair because again, once you put that on somebody, it's hard to shake it, and I don't want us to start canceling her if it ain't nothing to cancel. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Okay, that's TikTok. So let me see if I can find this. Yeah, that's TikTok. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I don't know why it's not coming up. Hold on, y'all. Let me try one more thing. Hold on. Here it is. I was about to say I knew okay, hold on. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Hold on. Is this Pinky Code? Nope. 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 Lord, shy. He posts a lot. Hold on. Here it is right here. Hold on. Tiffany Trump of all people. I just wonder. I don't know. Maybe she just liked the family. Maybe she just liked Tiffany Trump of all people. Maybe she like our bumper style. Maybe she like the man with the dead hands makeup. Maybe she don't care about him being in the Epstein files over 1 million times. Maybe she don't care nothing about the ICE people snatching people off the street pretty much. Maybe she think he's top tier. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she just like the family. Maybe she just like Tiffany Trump of all people. Maybe she like our bumper style. That little minister man. All right, hold on. So that's allegedly, but here's another one. Hold on. Of course she is. What else would you expect from a MAGA Republican? From Baltimore to have big fun. Shout out to those people who open businesses and owe taxes and get a whole new LLC and get from underneath the debt, you know. And you know, I forgot all about this. Now, how you get $25 million from investors for your business, but won't pay your employees what they worth, nor will you pay the taxes, nor will you pay the state of Georgia in revenue, sales tax. Then you will go on to close the stores a few years later or be hemorrhaging money from the stores. Then you allege that people are not doing what they're supposed to do. Now, my accounting mind is like, where is the $25 million? Who has it now? Because it definitely didn't go into the expense. It's almost like evading taxes in a sense.
She said she had to fire her people in C-suite. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though in the C-suite I worked in, the boss knew everything, but everybody managed differently, I guess. The man that's running Essence in the ground and owe money to the city of New Orleans, hundreds of millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because if I do the math in my mind, $25 million invested into your company to help your other locations. If you got 14 locations, that's 1.7, I think, something $million per location to help them stay afloat on top of the sales of coming in from regular people. You'll be able to break even at least $1 million if you streamline hours, cut back on overtime, all kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? So you may walk away with 700,000, 800,000 or more. Well, it depends. It depends on the payroll hours. It depends on the staffing and all that kind of stuff. Food costs, counting what you have on the shelf, watching every penny, make sure people do what they're supposed to do, getting the right staff in, training them, not trying to be a mogul in the making and the shit going on behind the scenes. Look, it's a lot to this. It really is. And then, folks was down there protesting the lady's business. This is a mess. And I do believe the dude was related to it. Oh, Lord, this is a hot mess. If this ain't a Tyler Perry movie plot line, I swear to God. But if you don't pay the state of Georgia on this.
So somebody said, what's his TikTok? His TikTok is It's Me Darian 2. So ITS, capital ME, capital DARIAN, and then the number 2. So I ain't saying the girl is MAGA because I don't know her. All I'm saying is you following the whole Trump family is a little suspicious. You following the whole Trump family is a little suspicious. That's all I'm saying. Now, let me look at this poll. Let me see what y'all saying in this poll. Oh, wow. 82% said yes. 18% said no, but it was only 34 more votes. Everybody vote. Go vote in the poll, please. It's 100. How many people in this chat? Okay, it's 179 of y'all in this chat. Can we get 100 votes, please? Thank you. I want to be fair. So can we get 100 people to vote? I want us to be fair now. Okay, we up to 41 more votes. All right. Can we get 100 votes? 42. Can we get 100 votes? Please, thank you. She got money from Georgia and following them people, so she doesn't have to pay the state back. Oop. Cindy says you say she playing chess. All right, we got 53 votes. We're trying to get to 100 votes, y'all. Can y'all vote? That's just how y'all be voting for president. Just don't show up. Just don't hit the button. Can y'all vote, please? I want to be fair. I don't want to call this lady MAGA. She not MAGA. I want to be fair. We up to 54 votes. I'm going to close the poll in a minute. I was trying to get to 100, please, and thank you. While y'all are voting, let me get ready. We get ready to transition. So for the people that came in here late, we get ready to go over to the book club channel. This live is still going to be going on, but I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch the chat over to members only, so you can meet us. The link is pinned. You can meet me on the book club channel if you want to talk in the chat. Okay. When I come across situations like this, I check to see if they follow Obama. Also, I draw the conclusion from there. Now that's a good point, Lori. Does she also follow Michelle Baraka? That's a good question. That's valid. Some people might want to see both. Does she follow Kamala? Good question. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not calling her MAGA. I'm not calling her MAGA at all. But what I will say is, you get ready to go on this show, and y'all know how people do when you be on these reality TV shows. Y'all know how these people do. They're going to tear you up, down, in, out, round and round. Upside down. Hey, boy, you turn me inside out and round and round, upside down. You're turning me. Okay, my bad. I had a whole dance break. My bad. I was about to go there. We was about to be partying in here, baby. That's my jam right there. That's one of my favorite Donna Ross songs. And I'm not a big Donna Ross fan, but baby, that one right there, that one, and I'm coming out. I love that song. I'm coming. That's my jam right there. Get it? Yes. Yes. You was trying to vote with all my emails. Thank you, Nisa. Thank you, boo. Take me through there. Take me through there. Yes. Oh, Donna's your favorite. I've never been a Donna Ross fan. I'm not a Donna Ross fan. The same reason for this. It's pretty much for the exact same reason why I'm not a Beyonce fan, if I'm being honest. All right, y'all, get on this boat with us, okay? We getting on this boat ship. It's a ship. We are getting on this ship next February. Y'all have a year to pay this thing off almost. Y'all got almost a year. You got 7 months to pay this thing off. Go these rates. Again, you can book after March the 16th. I just cannot. Wait a minute, for real, Brandon. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna come back to that. I just cannot guarantee these rates. Okay, so you can book up until the ship leaves the dock or the ship is sold out, whichever happens first. So come on and get on this ship with us. Y'all know I know y'all sick of me saying this. After the 16th, I'm not gonna read it every day. I'm not gonna read it. Well, I ain't lying. I might, but I ain't gonna do this every day. But $892.86 is where it starts. $1,008.86. Balcony is $1,386. You guys have until March the 16th to lock that rate in. The deposit is $200, and you have until November the 28th to pay it out. November. Well, no, Tawanda. Baby, we've been talking. We've been talking. We about to go into book club is what we about to do. It's okay, boo. So anyway, get on the ship with us. There's the group number. That's the number to call. We have 20 rooms already booked. We're trying to get to 50. My goal, well, Cruiser told me that my goal is 50 rooms. So we're trying to get to 50. We had the last time I checked, we were at 21. Okay. Y'all, we can go into book club. So if you are on the Really Be TV main channel and you are not a member, just hop over to the Really Be TV book club channel. The link has been pinned. Tracy dropped the link. Okay, we at 75 votes. I'm gonna go ahead and close it. Excuse me. So if you want to vote, last chance to vote. We were trying to get to 100. We're trying to get to 100, but the last chance to vote, we are at 75 right now. That 79% of y'all said yes, that makes her MAGA. 21% said no. So I think that's fair. But I do think it's fair to look up and see if she follows Obama, if she follows Kamala, if she follows Jasmine Crockett. Like, how many Democrats does she follow? I mean, maybe she just followed them because she just want to keep up with what they're doing on the other side. Maybe she one of them people that feel like you need to know your enemy. I don't know. But anyway, we get ready to read the forward in chapter 1. I'm going to try to get to chapter 1. DB says she gonna look for us. Okay, go run some reconnaissance, DB, and find out if she follow all the people. Because if she follow all the people, maybe she just one of them people that follow everybody. You know, maybe she just one of them people that just follow everybody. All right. Let me see here. All right, we're gonna go into members only chat on this channel, which means that members will still be able to talk over here. But over on the other channel, we are going to be in, it's an open chat on the other channel. Okay, so we are, let me know. We should be in members only chat now. You voted your limit. Thank you, Auntie Eva. Thank you, everybody that voted. Again, this has been, the voting process was about a month long or a little over a month. So I know y'all was sick of us asking y'all every day, every channel y'all went to where the people were nominated. But I appreciate y'all that did vote. I did. And however it goes, real talk, however it goes, I thank y'all. Whoever voted, whether you voted once or voted 50 times, thank you so much. And however it goes is however it goes. All right. Are we in members only now? Let me see. The chat ain't moving. So did I knock off the chat altogether? Okay, Sweet Pea's there. Okay. Chanel said, forget that. I'm just gonna become a member over here. Thank you, boo. You've been a member though. Thank you for renewing your membership because I feel like you've been a member. All right. Okay. So let's get ready to get into this. Again, this video done already been put on yellow. So now I know what I need to do. I'm just gonna do a separate video. So that if I don't make any money off the video, it's what it is. Because my book club channel isn't even monetized at all. So we're just gonna go over to the book club channel. If they're not gonna monetize the video, ain't no need me doing it over here because that channel's not monetized. So there's that. So we are getting ready to read, and y'all know because of the content of the book, and because I'm not going to just read somebody's stuff word for word, because I don't want to do that either. We will be, editing ourselves accordingly. If you want to read the whole book word for word, go buy it or get the audio book. But we are going to be reading through the book. This is Who's Watching Shorty. This is the story of the young lady who was the subject of the infamous R. Kelly tape. We talked about her interview, and we talked about this before. I hope you and your panel win. Thank you, Quake. I hope so, too. I read this book in one day. So good, but it made me so angry. Yeah, I've heard that. So, again, we're going to read through. And then what I'll probably do is we'll probably just do the rest of it on the other channel, because if YouTube is going to be playing like that, child, I might as well do it on the channel that ain't monetized. Okay, it don't need me losing money over here. Okay. So this is the foreword of the book. I'm going to start at the foreword. So the foreword says, I'm calling on the cavalry to read this book. We need you. Black women and girls have been waiting for someone to stand up and protect us for half of a millennium. Rashonda Landfair has been waiting a quarter of a century to be seen. In this brave and beautiful memoir, Rashonda emerges as a dynamic and resilient adult to tell her story in her own words for the first time. She owes us nothing, but she has given us a gift. Rashonda Landfair's name was not immediately familiar to me, although I vividly recalled the rampant innuendo unleashed sometime in 2002 by a widely circulated tape involving R. Kelly. I remember nothing about the girl at this center. The details may elude me because I was grappling with my own escape from abuse in the music industry that same year. As a survivor of sexual violence, I made a point of avoiding any footage of the ambiguous video. In spite of my best efforts, the insistent buzz about the material made it impossible for me to remain totally ignorant. Okay. Looking back now, I remember hearing about a fast girl, that's what they always call them, and a porn star or a slave who I had been defiled in a number of ways by a man in his 30s. Not once did I hear this gravely imperiled teenager referred to as someone's daughter or as a child of God. No one expressed an interest in how she got there or where she came from or what happened to her after the camera stopped rolling. Why would anyone care? Or why didn't anyone care? Excuse me. The answer to that question is arguably white supremacy's crowning achievement. Rashonda's abuse and our callous indifference to it are heartbreaking installments in the long history of exploitation afflicted on Black women and girls in America. Our casual acceptance of her undeniable suffering reflects centuries of grooming. After all, the institution of slavery was America's economic foundation and depended on the unmitigated assault of Black women and girls. In a society where Black women had no legal rights, there was no room for us to be horrified by the treatment, no opportunity to intervene. For 246 years, our collective psyche found a way to endure unrelenting brutality. So by the time the grown folks who should have rescued Rashonda from R. Kelly saw her on that tape, they have been conditioned along with us to not give a damn. I knew nothing about this. Now, I'm going to be honest and say this, and I said this before, I'm guilty. And I'm going to tell you that I'm guilty because I wasn't a child. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I was young. I was in my 20s. I wasn't a child. And I didn't take it seriously. I didn't see it the way I look at it today. I didn't see it the way I look at it today. I mean, today I clearly see it for what it is. It's child, PORN. He was a predator. There's no excuse. There's no justification. There's no defense. I don't care how quote unquote fast she was. He was a grown ass man and he was wrong. And that tape should never have been treated as a pre-game to anything. I told y'all I went to a fight party one time and they were showing the tape like a pre-game. And I didn't stop it. I didn't say, oh my gosh, this is horrible. What are you talking about? That's a child. So I have to point the finger at myself. So when I'm reading this, I'm like, I see her point. It's valid. It's valid. Let me keep reading. In late 2017, during the initial wave of hashtag Me Too, I shared my experience as a victim of abuse in the music industry in an article in the New York Times. 3 years later, I appeared in a documentary called On the Record, exploring the double bind faced by Black female victims of Black perpetrators as most violent crimes, including RAPE. It was terrifying. The challenge of coming forward exacerbated for Black women by the legacy of false allegations of actual misconduct that have been weaponized against Black men and boys for centuries. Informed by this history, I intended to carry the secret of my abuse to my grave. Cases like Emmett Till and the Exonerated Five weighed heavily on my mind. I was also deterred from coming forward by the contempt with which Anita Hill's story of abuse had been received the year before I began my career in the music industry. Even without the additional layer of prejudice, reporting actual abuse is daunting for survivors of all races and genders. The most obvious obstacle is the tremendous shame associated with the experience itself. Coming forward is further complicated by the fact that it almost always takes place in the context of long-standing interpersonal relationships. In 2017, struck by the courage of women and some men who were bravely calling out abuse of titans in various industries, I decided to break my silence. As a wife at the time and as a mother, I felt a responsibility to try and make the world safer for the next generation. As a Black survivor, it is also important for me that the Me Too movement included our voices. I naively believed that in response to our stories, esteemed leaders would step forward to insist that Black women deserve dignity, safety, and care. I was wrong. The cavalry for Black women never came. Black women experienced to be magic are deprived of the compassion reserved for damsels in distress. So as there's no manager or knight in shining armor that we can call. Spurned by leaders in our own community, survivors of On the Record joined Rashonda Lanphier and Anita Baker on a bleak arc of history bending toward despair. But joy cometh in the morning. Rashonda Lanphier grew up. Rashonda Lanphier set herself free. Rashonda Lanphier has returned to tell her story. Her unflinchingly honest and deftly told account offers all of us an opportunity to take accountability of our role in her suffering. Hold space for her. Do not look away. We should be horrified. It is not too late for us to intervene, and we must intervene for the sake of every victim, past and present. They still need you. Rashonda still needs you. Black women and girls still need you. I implore you to give a damn. Drew Dixon, October 5th, 2025. So, Cheryl said, I'm guilty too. I saw that video and didn't speak on it, but today. Right, exactly, Cheryl. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend, listen, I'm guilty. I can't do nothing about it. I can't undo what I did or what I didn't do. But I was conditioned as well. Lord, there go Cajun and DB. I ain't doing this with y'all today. We doing real business here. This is the preface or the preface. What was that foolish girl thinking? If my brain had not been such a tidal wave of conflicted emotions, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Baby, the writing just got smaller, honey. Let me put my reading glasses on, child. The writing got smaller. I said, I ain't about to. Let me put my reading glasses on, honey. Here we go. Oh, that's much better. Praise him. Oh, look at that. Praise him. Oh, that's much better. Oh, hold on. I lost my page. Hold on. Okay. Foolish. What was that foolish girl thinking? If my brain had not been such a tidal wave of conflicted emotions, shame, and a hazy understanding of love for the grown man who defiled my child's body, maybe I would have asked the same thing. God knows. I often felt foolish, reckless, and ashamed. But most days I was so paralyzed with fear that I couldn't allow myself to think and answer that Robert hadn't told me to think. This man, more than twice my age, whom I called my godfather, made me as invested in his lives as he was. I'm sorry, more than double her age. Now, see, the problem is when I put these glasses on, then this gets blurry. Miss Kiki said, I never watched it. I was horrified when I saw it. I said immediately, there's no way he didn't know she was a child. She wasn't even fully developed. I never bought another album after that day. Well, good for you, Andrew, because baby, I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't there. Was it foolish to believe him when he said that the world hated me, that you thought I was a hoe on my best day, but that he would protect me? I already knew that nobody could see what was happening, or if you did, you surely didn't see it as a problem or blame Robert. She ain't wrong. I tell you, it's not easy being a girl, especially a black girl. Shamed for our developing bodies, we're considered too foolish or too fast to keep ourselves outside the clutches of lecherous men, men who our community puts on a pedestal despite their predatory behavior because of their great music, money, fame, looks, or street cred. And if shit happens, we girls are supposed to lick our wounds quietly and protect our violators' secrets as our own. And let me tell you something. You don't even have to be rich. You didn't even have to be successful. How many people have ever had a family and they say, well, you know, don't let her sit on Uncle so-and-so's lap, or you know Uncle so-and-so gonna be there, so you know. How many people have you heard, it may not be your family, but you've heard people tell you stories that they knew they had that uncle or cousin or male family member that they knew wasn't right and knew was doing stuff they didn't need to be doing, and nobody did nothing about him. They just kept the girls away. So you don't even have to be rich and famous to be protected as a man, as a predator. You ain't even got to be rich and famous, but I'm sure, but being rich and famous, we know, adds to it, you know? Was I a fool to believe Robert when he said I had made him love me so hard it hurt? How did I allow myself to get turned out by my godfather? Why didn't I muster the courage to drop a dime on him? After all, there were always plenty of folks milling around. From Robert's parade of bodyguards, cooks, chauffeurs, housekeepers, nannies, sound engineers, musicians, personal assistants, managers, and throngs of other hanger-ons to the revolving door of artists and celebrities who were always stopping by. You all saw me there. I was always there. Maybe you looked without seeing. Ooh, that's deep. Maybe you looked without seeing. Maybe you saw without watching. Because if you were watching, you would have seen me seek his approval for every word that came out of my mouth. You would have noticed that all the things that used to matter to me no longer did. Maybe recognizing my pain would have forced you to unearth the secret of your own abuse and acknowledge your scars from poorly healed trauma. Perhaps you told yourself it was none of your business, that R. Kelly was no better or worse than any other man in the music game, and I should have known better. That somebody else was supposed to check for Shorty because that was above your pay grade. So because I didn't starve off the heady diet of dopamine and adrenaline fed to me by a predator, I thought was my lover. Shrug. Everybody was looking after all, but nobody was watching. Not watching me. Not watching the man who would cruise the rock and roll McDonald's looking for shapely black girls who seemed to have a point of vulnerability that he could exploit. And that's one thing about predators. They know how to find their victims. When people, and that's why it frustrates me when I hear people say, well, it wouldn't have been me. It wouldn't have been me. It had never been me. You're right. Because there's something about you that a predator knows they're not going to get what they want. You know? So when people say, it couldn't have been me. It wouldn't have been me. Yeah. And that doesn't mean you're better than the person who was violated or you're better than the person who was exploited. But what it means is there's something in your personality, something in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you hold yourself, that a potential violator knows you can't be manipulated. So and that's why it frustrates me so much when I hear people say what they wouldn't do. One, you never know until you in a situation or you've been manipulated. But you're right. Some of y'all would never be those victims because it's something in you. The reality is a lot of victims have daddy issues, self-esteem issues. You know, there are other things that factor in that may not be a part of who you are. So, anyway. My classmate was in relations with a man who was 45 years old and she was barely 16. My God. You are broken in the way they need to. Exactly, Cajun. You're right. And predators see it. Predators can see it a mile away. I don't know what it is. I can't put a name on it because I ain't no predator. But predators see it a mile away, y'all. Just know. So that's why it frustrates me sometimes when I hear people, because I feel like some people, not everybody, but I feel like some people put themselves like, that would never be me. That'd be so stupid. But you just, child. When Dave Chappelle's Piss on You skit aired in early 2003, it added insult to injury for 18-year-old me. Here I was, just a few months out of the trauma of the whole world witnessing the disgusting things Robert Sylvester Kelly, R. Kelly to you, did to me, and that he compelled me to vehemently deny, and now there was a whole Chappelle show skit poking fun at my humiliation. I'm sure Chappelle would say that comedians make fun of inappropriate stuff all the time. And all of you who've laughed at the punchline will argue that you weren't laughing at me, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. Robert was so mad that his threats to me kept me denying this ever happened. Denying this ever happened often came in a form of physical and psychological abuse. Ironically, any blows to the chin that Robert took when the skit hit the fan only got him bigger music sales from an even broader audience. So he was rewarded. And my ears were always burning from the crass jokes and clucking tongues of friends, neighbors, and church members talking about the girl who got herself peed on. Every now and then, some folks would feel sorry for that foolish girl. Some of you even cried foul. This was child, P-O-R-N, and statutory, you know. But from where I stood, these voices were quickly drowned out by the insults that I was fast and thirsty and foolhardily groupie, a gold digger, a Jezebel, and my family was riding the gravy train. Predators know how to find their prey. Well, I just said that. Robert hunted girls like me, girls with big dreams and naive minds who would believe the lies of a grown-ass man. As much as it sucks to say, Robert, the predator, found the right one in me. From the time I was 12, he fed me his lies, whether silver-tongued and sweet or soul-crushing and damning, until they became my own. Me, this is a quote. She's reading like dialogue. Me, Robert is a devoted godfather teaching me the inner workings of the music business. Also me. Ours is a real but forbidden love. That's why it hurts and it feels scary. I claim no more ownership of Robert's secrets and lies that... What? Oh, sorry, y'all. I claim no more ownership of Robert's secrets and lies that contaminated my mind and deceived my heart. That means I've got to set the record straight. I know that those lies have made some folks mistrust me. I get it. I can't force anyone to believe me. I can't force anyone to believe me. But if you've ever known crippling fear and shame, if you've ever been so exploited and manipulated that it seems like all the exit signs were removed from every door, if you've ever been told you caused your own violation, that you are nasty and beyond repair when you're young and vulnerable, maybe you can relate. When I first started to write this book, I worried about how everyone whose name would be in it would feel. Would I hurt you? Would you hate me? Then I realized that folks who were inclined to hate me already did. And those of you who branded me as a liar are free to believe whatever you want about me. I can't live the rest of my life existence trying to make everyone feel better about your role in my life. All I can do is tell the truth as I knew it then and as I know it now. And let the chips fall where they may. Ooh, I love this. You can tell she's been through therapy. You can tell that this woman has been through therapy and doing the work. Baby, she said, look, I can't do nothing about the people who don't believe me. Either you're going to believe me or you're not. Either you're going to believe me or you're not. I can't do nothing about that. And either you're going to believe me and let the chips fall where they may. Yes, I love it. I love it. I have no desire to ruin folks' lives. God knows I've suffered enough under a man who didn't love me like he said he did and was willing to use me up and distract me from his own demons. I don't wish that kind of misery on anyone, but my path to healing and wholeness means laying down the burden of other people's dishonesty. I refuse to compromise myself and pollute the truth so folks can save face. Embarrassment sucks, but it isn't the end of the story for any of us. As a full-grown woman, I've come to know a few things about human nature. I know that lots of times human beings don't operate with pure intentions. Sure, we want to help someone, but we also want to see the table from our own feast. We're angling for a foot in the door or on the ladder of success. We want bragging rights, access to the VIP room, recognition from friends and fans. And if we can't get those things from our own accomplishments, we'll settle for being close enough to the so-called greatness of others that we can grab some of their crumbs. Lots of folks wanted to rub shoulders with R. Kelly. His R&B empire was so big that hundreds of people could feast on his crumbs. So the people protected Robert from scrutiny for his illiteracy, his cheating on his then wife, Andrea Kelly, and especially his abuse of me, a whole bunch of women and girls, and the boy he called his little nephew. Let me read that again. Lots of folks wanted to rub shoulders with R. Kelly. His R&B empire was so big that hundreds of people could feast on his crumbs. So people protected Robert from scrutiny for his illiteracy, his cheating on his then wife, Andrea Kelly, and especially his abuse of me, a whole bunch of women and girls, and the boy he called his little nephew. Now, I had heard rumors, but it sounded like she. Okay. Let me keep reading. Okay. Robert was powerful enough to greenlight or bury folks in the music industry. Plenty of people knew he was a snake, but since the business is full of snakes, they just decided to tread lightly. I'm not here to tell those stories or clear anyone's name, but I will not sidestep the hard truth about these people who lied for me and about me, or who encouraged me to lie to protect myself and others. Robert Sylvester Kelly groomed me to fill my mouth, mind, body, and spirit with the filth he fed. I own the decisions I made, decisions born of warped understanding, fear, confusion, jealousy, and a misguided belief that on the other side of all the lies, there would be peace. I've come to realize that as long as the devil is getting the glory in your story, there will never be peace. I know that's right. Not as long as the devil is getting glory. Yes. I remember that Queen Brielle. I do remember it was a boy in his case now. It just I was reading, y'all. I'm really reading this in real time, so y'all just got my natural reaction. That's all. But I did remember that. I do remember that now that y'all say that. Now that you say it, I remember that. As I heal the girl inside of me, I'm telling her story, my story. I'm reclaiming my name because I don't want it to be a dirty word. And my body because I no longer want my image reduced to that blacked out face of an exploited child. My story may be rough, but I am not a mistake, nor is my life just about suffering and tragedy. That's why I'm raising my voice, stepping out of the shadows, and reintroducing myself because I know there's a blessing in it for me and maybe for you too. I'm not holding on to one more lie. Child, now this is the prologue. Girl, you gotta listen. Now we're gonna read through this, but girl, you got the introduction, you got the preface, the preface, the preface, whatever. Now you got the prologue. We ain't even got to chapter 1. Now, Rashonda, I said I wanted to get to chapter 1, but we doing a lot, girl. But it's your story, baby. Tell it. Okay, we're gonna be here. We're going to be here to tell the story. Okay. The prologue. West Side Shorty. Crisscross, Lil Bow Wow, me. I was that good. A pint-sized girl rapper from the west side of Chicago. I was a member of a professional singing group called For the Cause. Originally, we were YWFC, Young Warriors for the Cause. Along with 3 of my cousins since I was 9. I was the youngest member by a couple of years, but because I was a confident rapper in a small package, I was a standout in the group. Friends, family, and fans alike called me Shorty. For the Cause was a cover band, and we put our own hip-hop spin on soul and pop classics like Stand By Me, Every Time You Go Away, and Ain't No Sunshine, as well as original songs like Make Your Head Rock. At first, we were on football legend Reggie White's record label, but Big Doggy Records, before signing with Jürgen Grabner, who was then at RCA BMG. By 1998, we had released a CD and we were minor celebrities in Europe and beyond. Our song Stand By Me even charted in the top 10 in 8 countries, Germany, where it reached number 2, as well as Austria, Belgium, Ireland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Sweden, and Switzerland. Although For the Cause toured in several countries, especially Germany and Italy, our group's popularity in the U.S. was more modest. Most of our stateside fans were in our Chicago hometown. But my family kept me humble, and at 9, 10, 11, and 12 years old, I really didn't realize our groups were internationally famous. With my dad, Greg Lanfear Sr., a professional guitarist, and my favorite aunt, Stephanie Sparkle Edwards, an R&B singer on the come-up in Chicago, I was just loving life and following in the footsteps of my musical family. Music wasn't the only thing I loved to do, though. My tiny frame contained a big and bubbly personality. I was popular in my Oak Park neighborhood for being a tom girl who delivered on the basketball court, a Girl Scout who took my cookie sales seriously, and a leader among my peers. My family was nobody's idea of rich, but if there was ever any struggle, it lived far beyond my notice. As far as I was concerned, life was full of everything I needed and a few extras. Besides, I loved being a big sister to my brother, Lil Greg, who's 8 years younger than me. As short and as small as I was a giant to him. Then I picked him up and put him on my shoulders. I relished how good it felt to be big and powerful in his eyes. My parents kept me active in our community, from attending a host of local park and rec center events to being an intercessor and praise dancer at our family's church. Since we lived pretty close to my grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles on both sides of my family, they were like a safety net that extended my footprint beyond my neighborhood and tapped into everything else that was fun in my corner of the globe in the 1990s. Well, that family wasn't there to protect you when you needed them to protect you. Okay, Lori. Lori said, I want to hear your perspective on the way details her parents' role. Okay. I wouldn't say I had stars in my eyes, but I lived in a world of big aspiration. As Greg Lanfear's daughter, Sparkle's niece, and Shorty the rapper, I definitely enjoyed opportunities to try on what it was like to be a celebrity artist. If you ask me, I probably would have said I wanted to make it big as a rapper or basketball player, maybe both. And with my ambition and tight-fitting family, I had no doubt I'd get where I wanted to go. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, I got to just read chapter 1 because I supposed to be somewhere at 9 o'clock. Oh, shoot. Y'all done messed up. Part 1 says, I want to be down. This is chapter 1. All that glitters. I don't know how it happened, but when I was 12, I was my Aunt Sparkle's mini best friend. Or at least that's what it seemed like, and I felt special. She was known to the rest of the world as Sparkle, but to me, she was my beautiful, glamorous, and talented aunt. Sparkle, a.k.a. my mom's youngest sister, Stephanie, was already the celebrity of our family, well before her first album was ever released. At 16 years my senior, 9 if you're counting her music industry age, Aunt Sparkle lived downtown, traveled at a whim, and had choreographers and producers as friends. She was different. I admired everything about her. When I was very little, I remember I met the man who was then Aunt Sparkle's husband, Earl Robinson, of the R&B trio Public Announcement. The group became best known on the national scene for backing and and coming R. Kelly in the early 1990s. The day I met him at my grandmother's house, his combat boots, New Jack swing outfit, and swagger told me he was big time even before Aunt Sparkle introduced him. That's how she rolled too. Hair laid, outfit on point, and her own swagger that made people take notice. At some point, Aunt Sparkle no longer had a husband, but what she told 12-year-old me confirmed she had her share of admirers and hadn't lost a step in her personal life. As I watched her get dressed to the nines for her various engagements, she would school me on topics that felt light years away, like the importance of staying ready for excuse me, like the importance of keeping my vajayjay ready for sexual encounters. I twisted my face into a question mark. Aunt, Aunt Sparkle stopped putting on makeup. Reading my face, she sighed to the question I didn't ask. Sean, wouldn't it be easier to keep your head clean if you had no hair? I guess I hunched my shoulders. And isn't it easier to see someone's lips if they don't have a beard? Yeah. It's the same with our JJs. Even if you don't want to share yours with anyone else just yet, you will one day. Just take my word on that. And that's not the time to learn how to keep her cute and that's not the time to learn how to keep her cute and sweet. Best to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Aunt Sparkle tapped my nose with her manicured finger like she had made everything clear. Even as I puzzled over her advice, I was sure of one thing. My aunt was the big sister I never had, and her sensational life felt like a peek behind the veil of womanhood. She didn't say that our conversation was a secret, but I knew they weren't for public consumption either. So I kept her revelations to myself, mostly. Hearing her stories of encounters with high profile men and her various boyfriends in the music industry filled my imagination with PG-13 daydreams. But I don't want to discourage her from sharing them. But I didn't want to discourage her from sharing them. Aunt Sparkle knew things that seemed important for a future woman like me to know. Things like the intricacies of love and the mysteries of laying in bed with a man. Aunt Sparkle wasn't the only member of my family in the music business, of course, but she looked the part more than the rest of us. Yes, for the cause had toured all over Europe, and my cousins and I had a blast attending the Stellar Awards and touring with Raven Simone in 1996, as well as and as well as a well-respected guitarist in the deep, Lord, I'm sorry, y'all, in a deep bench of Chicago talent. Dad gigged all around, playing everything from funk to R&B to gospel, jazz, and hip hop, though he made the most regular paychecks playing for gospel artists at church productions. But it was Aunt Sparkle who shined like new money as her star continued to rise in the R&B universe. She was a credited background vocalist on Aaliyah's 1994 double platinum debut, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, produced by R. Kelly, who was killing the R&B game on the international stage. And 2 years later, Sparkle became R. Kelly's next musical protege. In the process of signing with his newly incorporated Rockland Records, her self-titled debut album in 1998 went platinum. At 12, I didn't know much about the business side of my own group's recording contract, much less Sparkle's music deal. I was just excited for all of us. As a kid, musician, and favorite niece of my favorite aunt, I had a glimpse of the adult world of entertainment, but I was still very much a kid when I wasn't touring with my group. I was content to shoot hoops and hang with my junior high friends. I knew that was a part of a talented music family, of course, and that we all wanted to follow our gifts and talents wherever it would lead us. But the most important thing was I felt loved and supported by them, especially Aunt Sparkle. It was the late fall or early winter of 1996 when Aunt Sparkle cheered on my cousins and me at our For the Cause concert at the local Chicago crowd. She brought a guest, R. Kelly. I had no way of knowing how Aunt Sparkle's unexpected guest would make my preteen life in Chicago and my musical aspirations clash and ultimately cancel each other out. I was just happy to take the stage in Chicago and amazed to meet R. Kelly, who when I got off stage, and meet R. Kelly when I got off stage, sorry. R. Kelly, a bona fide star. R. Kelly, who was everywhere, loved by everyone, especially here in Chicago. Of course, I knew his music. Of course, I admired him. Everyone did. I was excited to spot him at a Fred Hammond concert at my church once, but this was on another level. Not only was Aunt Sparkle R. Kelly's protege, but now he was my group's newest and famous fan. I know that some folks feel otherwise, but even now, I believe that Sparkle's initial intention of introducing R. Kelly to my family came from a place of wanting to see us win like she was. And in Chicago in 1996, as a musical talent in a crowded field of hopefuls, you wanted to get as close to him as you could. I'm sure that's one reason why she connected to him as she did. He was a hit maker. He knew the sound folks couldn't get enough of, and he was still here in Chicago making music where lots of folks would have set up shop in New York or LA. It was like Chi-Town City was his muse. I wasn't thinking about any of that, though. I was just starstruck, excited that my aunt was starting a new career, and amazed that the artist I inspired was acknowledging me. He said he was wowed by us and especially wowed by me as the youngest and smallest member of the group. He made a point of singling me out, complimenting me on my stage presence, and giving me constructive criticism about how to handle myself as a performer. He made me feel seen and respected as an artist, something I also wanted to be. And just when I thought things couldn't get better, he decided to treat my family to a meal at the Cheesecake Factory. Girl, I can no longer remember all that we talked about at dinner, but it was the beginning of getting to know R. Kelly, the star as R. Kelly, the man. Since Aunt Sparkle was working on music, Since Aunt Sparkle was working on music at Robert's studio, I started tagging along and hanging around in the studio too. I love soaking up the energy. It made me that much more excited about my own dreams of being a singer and a rapper. At some point during these days, maybe it was even at our Cheesecake Factory dinner, Robert learned that my dad was a great guitarist. So Robert asked Dad to become a studio musician for him. Although my dad is credited on several R. Kelly albums, he never played on stage with Robert. He would just go to the studio and lay the tracks to inspire in his songwriting. When Dad went to play music, I took those opportunities to join him in the studio as well. It felt great to be around Robert and witness his talent firsthand, and I was also tickled to have a celebrity friend. In addition to the time I spent in the studio, I would also go with Aunt Sparkle or my parents to watch him play basketball with his friends or employees when he ran out hoops, the gym in Chicago. Then he would take all of us to Rock and Roll McDonald's on North Clark Street or the Cheesecake Factory in North Michigan. Hanging out with Robert was fun, and because he was famous, it was like I was brushed by greatness. Of course, I had met folks who were famous in other countries when I toured with For the Cause, and our fans in those countries screamed for our group, which made me feel famous. So to an extent, I was accustomed to meeting people in the music industry, both here and abroad. But this was the first time I was connected to a huge celebrity I personally looked up to right here at home. It felt terrific, like my whole family was on the come up. It was a couple of months into my friendship with Robert, and I was at Aunt Sparkle's apartment when she said, "Hey, Sean, the next time we're at the studio, you should ask Robert to be your godfather." I turned her words over in my mind. Yeah, that's actually a great idea because that'll make me closer to him. I thought it would be more of a good thing, which seemed great to me, but since I had made this special request for myself, I felt nervous about it. Aunt Sparkle explained that I should sit on his lap and rub his head while I asked him to be my godfather. This instruction seemed sort of weird since I hadn't sat on his lap before, but I didn't question it. The next time I was at the studio with her, I went into his office and did exactly what she told me to do. I was surprised that sitting on his lap created a feeling in me that was beyond the friendship we had been cultivating. Is this okay to do? At some part of me wondered why it didn't feel like sitting on mom's lap or even dad's. Robert stayed put and acted normal. Then he looked up at me. His smile was broad and warm. He said, yes. Wow, I smiled. I didn't know that what I had been expecting, but it seemed almost too easy. Cool. My heart felt happy. Now I was a part of his family. When I shared the news of my change in status with my parents, they noted that I already had godparents, but they said this was great. To my mind, they knew that I was also into basketball and music, like Robert was, so they could see that we had meaningful things in common. Robert had visited our church and had given his life to Christ. So as far as I knew, no one was holding the old rumors about him liking teenage girls against him. That should have been the end of that right there. When she came home talking about he my godfather, and y'all said you already have godparents. That should have been the end of the conversation. Hello. That's a wrap. That's it. That's all, folks. All right, that's not the end of the chapter, but I gotta pause there, y'all. I really got to get off of here because I have to get ready for the panel at 9:00 to review the scene Atlanta, or as Busy likes to call it, the ghetto gays of Atlanta. I have to get ready for that, so we're gonna pause right there. I'm gonna try to come back and read some more tomorrow, but we're gonna do it on my other channel because, like I said, if YouTube is gonna demonetize the video, I'll do it on the channel that's not monetized. And that way, if I have to delete the video later, it's not a big deal. But thank y'all for hanging out with me. We're going to do it on the other channel. So if you are not subscribed, please get subscribed. The link is pinned at the top of this chat. Get subscribed over there because that's where we'll be reading the rest of the book. Okay? All right. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good evening. Okay? Woo. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a lot of that at a time, child. We might have to just do one chapter at a time. It might take us a long time, but baby, that's a lot. That's a lot. But all right, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Book your cruise. All right. Be part of the 50. Thank you.